Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Greiner and I'll be your teacher for today. In today's class we're going to be learning how to solve two-step equations. But before we do that, I'd like for you all to think about a two-sided scale, such as this image. And you can see that both sides of the scale are balanced. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I add a little bit more weight to this side of the scale? Christine?
It goes down.
Great. Yep, so the scale becomes unbalanced. But for the scale to become balanced again, you can either remove the excess weight on this side, or you can add the same amount of weight to this side. And as we go through these problems and learn how to solve two-step equations, I'd like for you to keep these thoughts in mind. So one equation that I want to go over is 2x plus 1 equals 11. Can anyone tell me what this x represents? Anne?
A letter?
Great, but it also represents a variable or some unknown number. And remember, the whole point of solving a two-step equation is to figure out what this unknown number is. So there are two important steps when solving these two-step equations, and the first one is to simplify using the inverse of addition or subtraction. And inverse just means opposite, so if we're adding, then we want to subtract to undo the operation. So we can see here that we have 2x plus 1. So in order to undo this, we need to subtract both sides of the equation by 1. Because remember, what you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side to maintain this balance, this equality. So we can see that both 1's cancel, and we're left with 2x equals 10. Now the second step for solving an equation like this is to simplify using the inverse of multiplication or division. So we can see here that this 2, which is a coefficient of the x, is multiplied by x. So in order to undo this, we need to divide both sides by 2. And we can see that the 2's cancel, and then we're left with
5.
Great. So our final answer is x equals 5. Are there any questions? Brinley?
How do we know we got the right answer?
That's a great question. To make sure that your answer is correct, if you're not sure about it, you can always just plug in your answer into the original equation and see if both sides equal each other. So to quickly demonstrate, in this case we would plug the 5 in for x, so we have 2 times 5 plus 1 equals 11, and then we would see that 11 equals 11, and hence the scale is balanced. So now that we understand how to solve two-step equations, I'd like to go over this chant that I made to help reinforce these important concepts. Here's how to solve a two-step equation. You will have to use your imagination. Think of a balanced two-sided scale, then on the left, remove a weight without fail. To restore balance, we need to remove the same weight from the right with some groove. The inverse of addition or subtraction's the first step. Come on, say it now with some pep. Use the inverse of multiplication or division to get an answer with precision. That is all I have to say. It will all pay off someday.